do the show tonight. Rainforest demolition for environmental summit. Oh, God, this is going to fucking be frightening to read. Hey, Billy Ferngully. Did you see that the elites who control all our resources knocked down a swath of rainforest so they could build a runway to land their private jets for a climate summit? Are they just doing this for like... I don't, I honestly think that sociopaths, the whole spectrum of a sociopath, I think it's, when you're just like from mouth-breathing moron to head of a corporation psychopath, I literally think God created these people for his own amusement, to just watch them frustrate everybody else. Like I had this fucking conversation with somebody. I just said, I just can't. I'll go with that. There's a God. I used to believe in God. Then I said there was no God. Now I'm saying, okay, I believe that there's something out there. I'll go with that. I believe that he, she, they, it made everything. But I can't get on board that this God loves us, or he wouldn't create or make all of these fucking terrible people. And I always say, why does God make sociopaths? Why does he make pedophiles and all of that? And then like this religious person said, well, why does he make empathetic and nice people? Why does he do that? You see what I'm saying? I'm like, no, I don't. Why doesn't he just make that? Why doesn't he just make nice people that look out for each other and we could all just be having a good fucking time? And then they always like, well, we're never going to understand all that God did. Just say you don't know. Just say you can't answer that. It's okay. Science can't answer everything. These fucking religious people always have to have the well, that's the mystery. He gives us freedom of choice. Shut up. Freedom of choice. I guess I will go fuck a child. That's what a pedophile does? He gave him freedom to do that? Why the fuck? Why would he do that? The kid can't defend himself. Why would he do that? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sick of seeing all these climate groups run by rich assholes who gather to have conversation about how the average Joe has to cut back and not mention all these summits. Always have panels with douchebags all drinking water out of plastic bottles. Well, here's the thing, too. They've known that it's coming since scientists have been warning them since the late 1950s about what we're doing to the planet. There's a book out there by this female scientist that I never had the courage to read. It was called The Silent Spring, which we're rapidly approaching. Like, she didn't understand that eventually, she was saying Silent Spring, that with all these pesticides, how they protect the crops, but they seep into the entire food chain. The worms to the birds to the things that eat the birds, all the way up to the bears, and it'd be Silent Spring because there'll be no more fucking animals left. She didn't realize that there's going to be no spring left. And what people in power do is they fight something first, and then what they do is eventually they join it. And by joining it, they take control of it. So all of these corporations, they know what the fuck's coming. So they're buying land that sits on aquifers because they know fresh water is going to be the next oil. Like, they don't look at the ills that they've created and the disaster that we're headed to as a bad thing. They look at it as an opportunity. So now they're going to be the people. And after they've created this world where we have to buy all of these disposable things that you can't repair, and that they then throw into the ocean, and that they've decided that they're going to use our oceans as a fucking, garbage dump. They know that all of this shit is coming to a head. So now what they're going to do is they're going to blame you for playing the game that they created. And they will, keep writing themselves 9-figure bonuses for punishing the working men. That's basically it. And And what's funny is whenever you just say something like that, that was totally apolitical. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not blaming either side. I'm talking about these psychos that run these corporations. Someone will listen to this. They will retweet this shit, not this part, and then they will politicize it. Somehow they will they will figure out a fucking way. You know, if you can politicize a virus, fires, and a fucking tornado, you don't have any problem politicizing all spoken word. Anyway, let's see here. I'm sick of all these climate groups run by rich assholes. Plastic water, drinking water out of plastic bottles. Instead of cutting back on manufacturing junk and flooding stores with useless items made of plastic and chemicals, they expect us to live on ways they never would. P.S. For all the dumb fucks who respond by saying this was in the works for years and has nothing to do with the summit, keep reading, fuckers. They're only building this for private planes. Locals don't have private planes. All right. 2,000-year-old wisdom. Hey, Billy Boy, I'm a fellow aviator from the Sunshine State, and I think you would love this quote. It was written by Marcus, I'm going to mess this name up, Cicero, Cicero, of the Roman Empire at 43 BC. Cicero was a statesman, lawyer, scholar, philosopher, orator, writer. Jesus. Accomplished man. Number 1, the poor, and then it says dash, work and work. 2, the rich exploit the poor. The soldier protects both. The taxpayer pays for all 3. The banker robs all 4. The lawyer misleads all 5. Oh, I'm supposed to be reading the numbers. Let me start. 1, the poor work and work. 2, the rich exploit the poor. 3, the soldiers protect both. 4, the taxpayers pay for all 3. 1, 2, and 3. The poor, the rich, and the soldier. The banker robs all 4. The poor, the rich, the soldier, the taxpayer. The lawyer misleads all 5. Number 7, the doctor bills all 6. 8, the goons scare all 7. 9, the politician lives happily on the account of all 8. That's incredible. Thank you for the entertainment. Blue skies and tailwinds. Sunshine State Aviator. Hey, if you got, any pilots that want to write in and tell stories about what you're flying, I would love to hear it, because the longer I fly, the more I'm fascinated with fixed wing and the speed and the distance. And, going for my instrument rating again. Like, I went for it in my helicopter, but, like, I'd still not rated to fly in it. And I'm just fascinated with the altitudes that you guys fly at and how quickly you can get somewhere and how much cheaper a plane is than a helicopter. Like, the level of plane that I could have got for the price of a 2-seater helicopter is kind of insane. And for those of you not in aviation, there's just so many more working parts with the helicopter. So the price of a helicopter is expensive. The maintenance is the upkeep and all of that, very expensive. Having said that, I mean, the helicopter is just infinitely more cool than a plane, unless once you start getting into jets and shit, like those Red Bull fucking doing loop-de-loops and shit. That's obviously, and those warplanes, those old school warplanes, I love those too. All right, pre-qualifiers.